Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Coffee Time. There wasn't one yesterday because we had a school thing, so didn't have enough time to do everything. I'm just come onto the Daily Mail website and I'm just trying to find some good stories. That's what happens when you don't prepare. You don't prepare. Formula One Grand Prix in Las Vegas. That's not good, is it? I've got an animal story straight off the bat, but we can't open with an animal story, can we? Meanwhile, are you looking for a really good job? Maybe you want to work with the NHS. Apparently, right, the NHS is offering £100,000 contract for anti-racism consultancy services. Yeah, they've put out a tender. It's posted by the NHS Blood and Transplant Service. This is the NHSBT, which manages blood supplies and organ donation in the UK. Because did you know, a white man's heart and a black man's heart looks exactly the same? You see that? Did you know that? And same as their kidneys too. But anyway, why racist kidneys? Anyone? I don't like these new kidneys. They're racist. You ever seen the film The Man with Two Heads? That's a good film. And that's where, isn't it, a racist man's head is transplanted onto a black man's body. It's one of those exploitation films in the 70s. I remember seeing it, like one of those horror things over Halloween back in the 80s. Sorry, I just went off on a tangent then. That is a real film. I didn't make that up. Anyway, the successful bidder will embed intentionally inclusive and anti-racist behaviours across our organisation. We don't want any of those foreign kidneys in our service. The NHSBT wants a solution which includes topics such as racial equity, social justice, civility, cultural intelligence, and active bystander and inclusion. Of course, critics have slammed the six-figure spend as woke waste and called for every penny to go forward to frontline care instead. I don't know why we're spending money on that. Is that a thing? Are there racist people working in the NHS? I mean, what? But yeah, so the NHSBT has argued that hiring an anti-racist consultancy would help tackle backlogs by increasing the organisation's credibility with ethnic minority Brits. It also comes amid allegations of years of racism within the service. A spokesman said, "This project contributes to delivering better frontline care and reducing waiting lists, particularly for patients from ethnic minority backgrounds." Well, there is a cultural thing where, people of minority backgrounds are less likely to donate blood and organs and that. 'Cause I know when there have been campaigns for like sickle cell and things like that, and other other organ donation campaigns, they really have to kind of drum up support. But I don't know how an anti-racism consultancy is going to help with that. Really, they might need to be better served reaching out to local community leaders and going through that. Jesus, they should give me the contract. I've already solved their problem. God, I'm a bloody genius. But yeah, let's face it, it's a waste of money, and they could be spending it on, I don't know, PPE or something, wasting it on that, or badges, rainbow badges. What else have we got? Oh God, there's really. Oh, here we go. We're getting close. We're getting close to some good stories now. There's been some pretty patchy stuff on there at the moment. Meanwhile, right, we're going to Belgium. And what do we say about Belgium? Belgium is a swear word. Only people who've read certain books will know what I'm talking about when I say Belgium is a swear word. This is the story of a female prison guard in Belgium who's accused of being a nymphomaniac, right? Apparently, she's accused of having sex at work and engaged in hot tub orgies with colleagues. But she's denied the allegations made against her, saying she's been destroyed and stained for life. The female officer, identified only as S, probably for sexy, would allegedly tell staff at Lantin prison in eastern Belgium as early as 6 a.m. she wouldn't be able to work unless she didn't have sex. Confessions of a Prison Warden, starring Robin Asquith. She's one of 10 prison officers at the prison. It's Belgium's largest, who would attend X-rated jacuzzi sessions after work. Why do I never get invited to these X-rated jacuzzi sessions? There's none of that for me. Where they would swap coloured bracelets to decide who they would have sex with. It's a different world out there. I've lived such a sheltered life. S. Wait a minute, missus. Your name begins with an S. I'm not happy about this. Would also use senior employee's office so she could have sex with staff during the working day while they were supposed to be guarding the inmates inside the mixed prison. This is coming out of a newspaper called Sudinfo. But S, said to be a local counsellor, we're doubling down here, said she'd never done anything like what she's accused of, adding that her life was destroyed. She told La Dernière Heure newspaper, I feel a deep injustice. But that's the only thing she's felt deeply, if any of this is true. I'm deeply shocked. My life is destroyed. The consequences are absolutely colossal, and I have been stained for life. Apparently, this is the picture. This is this. If you squint, you can. Yeah, the nose is a bit big. I don't. Does that work? I don't know. But anyway, if you keep a lookout, keep on the lookout for her. And this is the Lantin prison, where all the saucy shenanigans. They've got X-rated jacuzzi sessions and everything. Makes it worth going to prison, isn't it? And there's a little map, so you can find your way there. Form an orderly queue. Now, again, I wonder how true any of this is, or if it really is a smear campaign. Oops. I mean, it sounds a bit suspect. She added, I'm shocked by these slanderous denunciations and the proportions they're taking. The image that sends this to my loved ones, to my future employers and colleagues, and finally to those who take time to know me. I've never done anything like what I've accused of. And she doesn't know why she's been accused of it. A female prison officer who claimed she'd never witnessed other staff members engaged in sexual activity, so she's saying it never happened. But a whistleblower had told the newspaper that prison staff would hold orgies and how staff had sex inside the jail. After work, 10 prison officers, including 3 women, would regularly meet up for X-rated jacuzzi sessions at the home of one of the male guards, identified only as P. Don't pee in the jacuzzi. And the staff would strip off during the sex parties and pick coloured bracelets. And they say they'd choose their partners. God, it's like lucky dip, isn't it? It's like a lucky dip. P, the organiser of the jacuzzi orgies, was also accused of regularly having sex with female inmates at the jail. He's the one, and he's obviously got a beef with her, and he's taken her down. What do you reckon? Governors were told how one manager let S use his office for sex sessions. God, blimey! It's all going on in Belgian prison. It's all happening. Who'd have thought it, eh? Right. Meanwhile, we've got some court news. This is a turf war between 2 rival dog beauticians. Can you be dog beauticians? I thought they were groomers. I probably can't use groomers now, can you? Because of the, because if you say, well, what do you do? Well, I'm a groomer. It's like remember when people were paediatricians? You can't say that now. So now they say that they just fiddle with kids, and that's even worse. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. But yeah, there's a £50,000 high court battle, and the allegations of a vicious online smear campaign. This is Laura Thurgood, who's suing her former business partner Daniel Late over the rights to use the name Wash, Wiggle and Wag. as well as claims that she's been libelled in a series of texts and social media posts. Here she is. This is Laura Thurgood. She claims she acquired the name, while her rival, Daniel Late, says that she, and this is something for the dads here. You can tell the Daily Mail I've been going through. She says she's got. Sorry, I got distracted for a minute there. Got a little bit distracted. Here she is with her fan. This is a bit more of an appropriate picture. So I don't vet any of this. I just click on the buttons and see what happens. And here she is. And they're fighting over the name. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, I've got a good story at the end. In court documents lodged with London's High Court, Miss Thurgood barrister Ian Silcock says she set up the business in 2018, claims she acquired the Wash, Wiggle and Wag trademark. She ran a mobile grooming salon for the back of a van, operating in a 30-mile radius covering South Birmingham, Solihull and Redditch. But yeah, then she teamed up with Miss Late as a fellow groomer to grow the enterprise and used her as a contractor. But then she's taken claim to the name. But in 2020, the two women's working relationship fell apart. And Miss Late left a letter terminating the partnership in Miss Thurgood's van. But she's carried on still using. Anyway, let's have another picture of the plaintiff there. Anyway, so that's the battle. And there's lots of stuff going on here. And there was accusations posted online, right? And the case continues. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Now, we did see a mobile groomers around here called Woolly Woofers. Now, it's not too far from Woolly Woofter, which isn't a good. And we joked that the person who's operating the Woolly Woofers van, it was obviously the father, who said, "Yeah, you should call it Woolly Woofers." Woolly Woofers. Oh dear. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Top news. Top news. Covering the Hamas war. Oh God, I can't do that. So I just there's no. Meanwhile, this is the story of a Nigerian con man who's behind a £220,000 parcel scam. Here he is. This is Sahid Aziz, and he won refugee status. Yeah, right, because he claimed he was gay. Because he said, I'm gay now. Here he is, looking particularly gay. Right, but he's now facing immigration because he pled guilty to conspiracy to commit fraud by false representation and plotting to possess criminal property because of his parcel fraud. And so they said, because he said, I'm gay. I'm also gay. But it turns out he's fathered 3 children with different women in the UK since coming here. And he went, oh no, I'm not gay anymore. I'm bisexual. I'm bisexual too, yeah. Whenever I want sex, I have to buy it. So he's not gay anymore. He's switched to bisexual because it's not allowed in Nigeria apparently. And he's had a terrible life. He's not had an easy life. Reading his claims here, but The parcel fraud is not a good look. He masterminded a £220,000 parcel scam shortly after he arrived in the UK. He helped to create a network of strangers and used their names to receive parcels from online sellers who would dispatch their goods before receiving payment. And then he'd collect the products using websites such as eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and sell them via his brother's electrical shop in Wigan before taking a cut and passing on some of the profits to his fellow fraudsters using Bitcoin. Up to 272 victims lost a total of £220,000 after being persuaded to send out second-hand items, including smartphones and cameras that they were trying to sell. He was obviously targeting small sellers on eBay who were trusting, always take the money first. But yeah, he admitted conspiracy to commit fraud by false representation, and he's going to be sentenced next week. But then he also faces, an investigation about his immigration status because he was here, because he was gay, and that's not allowed in Nigeria. But he's been putting it around a bit. That's not the only thing he's been emptying his sack with parcels with. Just ran out of steam there. just ran out of steam, didn't I? Now here we go. This is unless this is something. So I've got the sun on me. So there's just always a tiny slither, just a little slither of sun. Just wait a minute. If I do that. I'm hiding that behind my microphone. Yeah, it's clever. See, have you ever won the lottery? Have you ever won big? I always said if I won big, I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't tell the family. I'd make the missus carry on working, make the kids go to school, get jobs, leave a mundane life, and then when I drop dead, I'd leave all the money to animal charities, just to annoy them. That's not Trump. I wouldn't do that. Easy street for all of us if ever I won the lottery. However, we're going to Maine in the US of A, right? And he's unidentified, this fellow, and he won the second largest Mega Millions jackpot in January over there, and he won $1.35 billion, right? But he's suing the mother of his daughter. Well, why did she take a claim? Did she steal the lottery ticket? What happened? Well, he reckons she broke an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and she told his parents about his win. In court filings that were posted, the prize winner, identified only as John Doe, sued the mother of his daughter, identified as Sarah Smith, for a six-figure compensation. Really? He's already got enough money, come on. After revealing to his family his new multi-millionaire status. Right? Yeah, he took home his winnings. But yeah, Smith signed a non-disclosure agreement on February 8th. This is shortly after he won his big cash payout, to keep his identity as the jackpot winner secret through until June the 1st, 2032, when the daughter turns 18. Right? So that was the here's the look, to give you a flavour of it. Look, that was what it looked like, possibly, when he went in and claimed his money. But yeah, the filing said, due to the unique safety, security and privacy concerns associated with winning the lottery, defendant agreed to enter a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, with John Doe to promote the safety and security of John Doe, defendant and their daughter, and avoid the irreparable harm of allowing the media and public to know in general, to discover inter alia John Doe's identity, physical location and assets. But yeah, in September, he discovered that Smith had disclosed his status to his father and stepmother over one or more telephone communications. And inadvertently, his sister also learnt that he was the winner. And and it claims as a result of her actions, John Doe has suffered irreparable injury, and there is immediate and imminent danger that John Doe will continue to suffer irreparable injury for which there is no adequate remedy at law. And so he's suing her for $100,000 per unauthorised disclosure, and he's asking for the court to put an injunction on Smith to prevent her from violating the non-disclosure agreement any further. It is unclear if his father, stepmother and sister are considered separate disclosures. There you go. So be careful what you sign. Is he right? Is he wrong? Let me know in the comment box below. Don't worry, you won't do it. You won't do it. You never do. You never do. You know, what would you do if you won the Mega Millions? I'm sure you'd cut me in on it, wouldn't you? You look after your old mucker. You look after your old mucker, Darren. You know, he's been here entertaining you. You know, for I don't know how long. Feels like forever. It's never going to stop. You'd look after me, wouldn't you? Yeah, you'd look after me. I'm sure you would. There you go. Meanwhile, I guess this is medical news. Medical news. This is where is the fella? Oh, Slovakia. He's in Slovakia, and are you ready? Because it's Friday. This is a story from. Are you ready? Urology Case Reports. One of our favourite bedtime readings. It's a good read. It's a fun read. In fact it's a read for all the family. This is the story of a Slovakian chap who went for a run. Yeah, the 44-year-old went for a run. He may have looked like this. This is a stock picture. He went for a run, and he didn't feel too good afterwards. He didn't feel too good, right? After going for the jog, he realised he developed a painful lump on his little fella. Yeah. Now the man, he's an amateur marathon runner. Also, how can we say, noticed periods of nocturnal happy in the nether regions. Yeah, he was in his sleep, right? And getting, going a bit stiff. He didn't seek medical help for a couple of days, according to the Slovakian medics who shared his story in Urology Reports. But when they scanned his little chap, they realised that he developed blood clots in his corpus cavernosum. Oh yeah, not the corpus cavernosum. Those are the two spongy-like tubes that run through the shaft of the member and fill with blood to get said member in the upright position. Now, it's unique because this phenomenon has only been reported a few dozen times in the various casebooks. And it's, obviously very, very, very painful. Medics at Bori Hospital in Bratislava said the man had a firm and painful and fixed resistance in his right corpus cavernosa. Oh, some of us could only dream of having a firm, painful and fixed resistance in your right corpus cavernosa. And he was rushed for an emergency MIR scan, which showed he had an 18mm wide blood clot, and he was prescribed blood thinners and painkillers. And a week later, the pain had eased. However, the clot was still present, and he was given daily injections. Right? MRI scans later showed he had a scan 6 months later that showed that the clot had reduced in size. However, 3 years later, scans still showed he had the clot. Oh my God. And that was writing in Urology Case Reports. And they describe it as partial segmental thrombosis of the corpus cavernosum. Is there a picture? Yeah, we got pictures. But I guess, is that running through? I mean, that's, I don't know what I'm looking at. This is the transversal axis and the longitudinal axis of the right corpus cavernosum. I mean, I get you the best. I get you all the good stuff here. Look at that. Looks like 2 pork chops at the butcher's, doesn't it? I mean, what am I looking at? This is why they're trained. This is why they're trained professionals. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. Well, at least I've got the thumbnail. I've got the thumbnail for the video. But there you go. But he still had, all those years later, 3 years later, he's still got a partial blood clot. So stay at home. I've been warning you. Stay at home, but certainly don't run. Remember the man who invented jogging died jogging. Like the man who invented the Segway died on the Segway. Meanwhile, this is the story of the French top dog, Emmanuel Macron. Yeah, well, he's got an old missus, Bridget. She's old. She's really old. And he's young, right? He was 15 when his 40-year-old teacher fell in love with him. But it's the continental way, isn't it? We've all seen those films from the 80s where, have you not? Just me then, okay. But yeah, in a rare person interview with Paris Match, the 70-year-old, right, said that she delayed marrying her husband for 10 years for the sake of her 3 children who are around the same age as Macron. Macron was 15 when he fell in love with the then married Brigitte Ozier, 25 years his senior. She was his drama teacher at the Catholic Providence School in Amiens in northern France, and her daughter Laurence was Macron's classmate. Their romance blossomed and caused a scandal in the province as Macron's parents then sent him to Paris to go to another school, but his desire to be with his teacher and the pursuit of her remained. And yeah, there you go. But like I said, what do you expect? It's what they do on the continent. Filthy beasts. Filthy beasts. What else have we here? Oh, there ain't any more. Harry and Meghan news. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Excuse me. I reckon that the Iceland's volcano is ready to blow. There's an audio clip which is, I mean, I can't play it here because I don't know how to route the audio through the thing, but they reckon that it's making certain noises which indicates seismic activity. My tummy makes funny noises when I'm about to blow. Goes, so maybe it's making that kind of noise. I imagine that would be the same noise, wouldn't it? So looks like it's all kicking off. Meanwhile, let's go to the this is northern Brazil, the Moxa-Hatete tribe in the Yanomami territory. A helicopter pilot flew over with some thugs who decided to shout insults at the uncontacted Brazilian tribe, and so they're calling them rude words, and apparently the tribesmen retaliated by shooting arrows at the helicopter. Yeah. Apparently the footage was posted online with the title Cannibal Indians in Roraima, but was later removed after it caused national outrage. It's not very nice, is it, really? It's not very nice. Meanwhile, this is Staffordshire Police. We've got Staffordshire Police have been blasted because there's a new 12-page guide, right, that they've brought out. It was published by the force in June of this year, and it suggests officers try not to use words such as policeman and to use police officer instead. The recommendations also advise using gender-biased expressions or expressions that reinforce gender stereotypes, such as man up or grow a pair. Women can grow a pair too, they just on their chest. Women have already grown the pair. And yeah, they've obsessed with gender. Again, inclusive language. Remember, no such thing as inclusive language. Words are exclusive, so we know what we're talking about. If they're inclusive, it just turns everything into word soup. You no longer know what you're talking about. You know, policeman, policewoman. It's simple. Yeah, you can have police officer too, but we can have all the words. You know. They wanted to get rid of cleaning lady to be called cleaner. Spokesman should be switched to spokesperson, and statesman should be replaced with official, diplomat, political figure, or leader. We can have all the words. That's the thing. We don't have to ban words. We can have all the words. All words are applicable. That's the English language. It's wonderful. See, I love words. I love words, and I don't think we should, you know. The guidance also covers disabilities and advises officers to try not to use terms such as diabetic person. I've got a disability now. Fucking hell. Handicapped or confined to a wheelchair. And definitely not to use the term dumb, because it often uses a derogatory term regarding someone's intelligence. But if someone is dumb, it means they're unable to speak. You know, deaf and dumb. Oh, God. Oh, you know, the world's gone mad. Inclusive language. On ethnicity, using terms such as half caste. God, I know that used for a long, guys. It's an old one, isn't it? Mixed race. Well, mixed race that's fine, isn't it? Oriental. And BAME are also advised against. Now, remember when they was pushing for BAME? Now they've gone, no, can't use that. They were saying, oh, BAME this and BAME that. With officers being encouraged to be specific where you can. This is why no one's getting arrested, because the policemen just don't know how to approach anyone. Is it a man? Is it a woman? What's their ethnic? What's their section? And yeah, it's just renders everything into gibberish. As long as you're not using slurs at people, you should be fine. You know, intent. You know, is the important thing there. We have bad advertising. This is marketing fouls. Bored Panda collected these pictures. They stole them from people. Daily Mail stole them from Bored Panda. I'm stealing it from all of them. So there we go. This is you can celebrate the King's coronation with some loo rolls. What, you going to throw them at him? Or maybe you're using them for when you're on the throne. See, didn't think of that, did they? Didn't think of that. Price cut sangria down by 7%. I don't think that's 7%. BJ's in your PJs. Pardon? Oh dear. There's a lot of men here. There's a lot of men. Some of them are tenting. Cure anxiety with pretzels. Why not? Catch up with Jesus. Let us praise him and relish him, because he loves me from my head to my toes. 0% off. I like it. Potatoes. Yep. They look like potatoes. Onions. It's like there's just so much wrong here. It's sensory overload. Let's look at it in detail. So onions, £5 bag, 4.98, right? Potatoes, so that's conflicting, on what looks like to be, I don't know, some sort of, I don't know, is that, like, it should be fresh. It should be fresh produce, but that's like cooked produce, you know, some sort of finger food thing. And then you've got your melons. It's just all over the place. Conflicting language there. Designed to mimic the shape of the human foot. Yeah, because if they make shoes that are in the shape of hands, just don't fit as good, do they? Buy a bed, free one night stand. Absolutely. A sliding door company. Yeah, but you have to pull it to get in. Salads. That's the kind of salads I can get behind. I'm sure the salads are behind that. Just over. Nappies. Yeah. That's poo hands. The two words you never want to hear. And that was that. Did you enjoy that little diversion? Meanwhile, the money we're saving on the HS2, they're going to be using to fill in potholes. £8.3 billion is being diverted to resurface 5,000 miles of road. Just think of all those. We've got to feel sorry for all those little penises around the potholes that are now going to be filled in. The penis pothole man is out of a job. Yeah, apparently the pothole will be the thing of the past. Just think, what did you want? Did you want high-speed railway, or did you want all the potholes filled in? No brainer. We want the potholes filled in. Damn it, room. What else have we got? Have I done enough? I feel like I've done enough. Oh, this is a story of bringing back the dead. Colossal Biosciences believe that they could bring back the woolly mammoth by 2028. Yeah, the company will combine DNA from ancient species with living Asian elephants to birth a calf that could live again. It's a horror story made real. Yeah. The company aimed to rebuild the woolly mammoth genome using samples of unearthed specimens, filling the gaps with the DNA from modern Asian elephants. They will then try and coax woolly mammoth embryos into surrogate elephants and then try and rewild them onto tribal land. They reckon the two species share 99.6% of their genome, so it's not as big of a stretch as it may sound. The CEO and co-founder of Colossal, Ben Lamb, said, it is a very charismatic creature. We should be so lucky that 10,000 years from now people love us as much as we love mammals. Okay. And here they are. And I must admit, they do look like the kind of people that are going to bring back woolly mammoths, don't they? They do look like the kind of villain from a horror movie. And this is the remains of a woolly mammoth. This one was found in Canada. And that amazingly preserved, isn't it? They're going to use DNA that's been cultivated from things like that. It's just amazing. They also could be working to bring back the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, which was, they reckon, died out in 1936. Though there has been sightings of thylacines since then, unconfirmed, but people still believe that there might be some out there. So yeah, they could be bringing back a whole host of dead species, including the thylacine and the dodo. I don't know about that. I don't know, I'm not too sure. We have a heat pump story. Remember, we said that the heat pump's a bit loud. Well, we're going to Reetham up in Norfolk. We used to live on the Reetham Road, didn't we? Back in the day. At the coach house. You can look that one up. Yeah. Locals who live near the Reetham High School in Reetham said that the electrically powered devices to heat the school classrooms are a 24-hour noise nuisance. The pumps, these are the heat pumps we were talking about, absorb heat from the air and is said to be more efficient than gas boilers. But locals say they're creating so much noise pollution they're unable to open their windows or go into their gardens without being disturbed. Mark Bridges, who lives near the school, said the pumps are causing problems 24 hours a day. He blamed Broadland District Council for allowing them to be installed in the first place. He said they're very noisy. It's a 24-hour noise nuisance. And here is Reetham High School. There you go. 24-hour noise nuisance. And here are the heat pumps in question. So just imagine the whole country with heat pumps. We'll all be deaf. We'll all be deaf. We won't be able to hear anything. Meanwhile, this is interesting. YouTube have launched an AI tool that lets you clone pop stars' voices. And basically, you know, because of copyright issues on YouTube, this new thing called Dream Track, it allows you to put kind of AI created pseudo pop songs over your shorts, not short trousers, YouTube shorts, little 60-second videos that you can post. You basically enter a prompt, the kind of music you want, and it will generate a track for your, and amazing. So you just say, yeah, I want an upbeat pop song with so and so's voice in it, click, and then it generates it for you, and it's copyright free, so you can use it. Amazing. I might as well just sell the guitars now, just sell them all. Meanwhile, if you think you're having a bad day, you're not Valder dos Santos Ferreira. Here he is. You're not him. You wouldn't want to be him, right? He was celebrating his birthday, like you do. Valdir and his friend Julio Cesar Venancio were installing a beer keg in the back garden of their home in São del Meriti in the state of Rio de Janeiro on Saturday for birthday celebrations. But the keg supplier had failed to assemble the equipment, so they were trying to assemble it themselves when the keg suddenly exploded. And unfortunately, Ferreira, whose birthday it was that day, died on the scene, and his friend was taken to Nova Iguacu General Hospital, but died 2 days later. Here's his friend enjoying a beer. Oh, that's just too soon. But yeah, now drinking too much alcohol can kill you, but also beer kegs can kill you too. So just stay indoors, don't go out. Specialised draft beer trader Rodrigo Kaminsky told local media that the failure of the valve on the barrel's CO2 regulator must have caused the explosion. He said these two components have a great security value and must be valid. From the photos I saw of the case, it seems that it was an old keg, which should have already been scrapped. It may not have even had a safety valve to prevent excess pressure. He speculates that perhaps too much CO2 entered the keg. But, you know, there we go. So let's remember Valdir and Julio. Very sad case, that. Very sad. Right, animal story. We covered him before. This is about the fat cat, right? Gacek, the king of Kazubska. Right, here he is. He's a fat cat. And he was often visited in the Polish city of Szczecin. Right. But he's been removed. He's been removed from Google. He's taken off the streets and put on a diet. Right, so he's been taken off of Google. So you can't rate him anymore because he had a review page where people would take pictures, and he's been removed from the streets and put on a strict diet. Right, the podgy black and white stray shot to global fame after scoring a Google ranking of 5 from reviewers. And he was ranked on Google higher than the city's more traditional tourist hotspots, including the Philharmonic, the Castle of Pomeranian Dukes, and a network of underground World War II tunnels. He was popular. At the height of his fame, he even survived a kidnapping attempt when a woman was snapped on camera jumping into a cab after attempting to seize the 6-year-old celebrity Mog. Right, but his listing's been removed after locals expressed concerns over his health, and it stopped sightseers from flocking to the town to feed him. So this is what he looked like, right? And this is what he's like now, right? Because he's been on a diet, so you're going to be shocked. He's slimmed down. If that's even the same cat. I don't know. It could be. It could be. How about the spots on the nose? Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. I think he'd be a bit like Putin. He's like Putin's cat. He's got doubles. So yeah, Gachik has lost the weight, and here he is with his new owner in his new home. So there we go. It's probably a different cat altogether. And here he is at the height of his fame being interviewed. So there you go. Fat cat loses weight, has to retire. And I think we'll stop that there. I think I've done enough damage. Is there anybody in? 6 people in. Oh, that's not very good. Payne's in. This is prosecuted for jacuzzi sessions. Wash, waggle and wag. It gets worse. Payne adds, the Nigerian's defence is, yes, he fathered the children, but he didn't enjoy it. What? He was a bit like Will Smith then, wasn't he? Oops. Not the Corpus Casanova. Almost. Macron was 15 and she was 40. Why didn't she go tell her Nick? Because he's France and they do stuff like that in France. And police officers. Again, this is all Payne. He's on his own here. Are told to be specific in their racial language, and he's asked for a glass of lettuce, and asked to stick an angora jumper on an elephant. Indeed, that's for the woolly mammoths. Mind you, you're going to need a lot of wool and some pretty big knitting needles for that sweater, aren't you? Michael's in. He says yes because everyone was clamouring for another creature for us to misuse for our own ends. I don't know. I kind of like the sound of woolly mammoth steaks. Mind you have to pick the fur out. Payne adds, if it's extinct, surely it's a thyla not seen. And yeah, he finishes with heat pumps are like having a rusty fridge running in your back garden. There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's the future. Hooray! It's going to be great. But noisy. We'll all be deaf. There'll be just this giant Anyway, thanks for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. You know, you've got to drink out. Have a good weekend. Ta-ta.